the offensive line as a whole has been playing really well lately. Just what have you seen, or what reasons, I guess, have you guys seem to have just gotten better and better throughout the year?
I think just we've just been playing a lot together, right? I mean, this is how many games we played? 8 going into 9. The same unit of us 5 has been starting together since 2023 started, since me, CC, and Javo got here, and obviously Coop and Jalen were already here. So that's going on several months of all these banked reps, and then once you're playing real football games and you're in the season, your chemistry and whatnot continues to grow every game, every week in practice, on the field, on Saturday, whatever it may be. And a lot of that credit goes to Coach Mirabal, Coach Cristobal, Coach Mirabal, the way that he approaches every day in the meeting room, on the practice field, continuing to push us, regardless of what happened the previous week, or regardless of how we played, whatever, it doesn't matter. Continues to push us just the same way he does every day, same guy every time he walks in the building. But shout out to everybody on the offensive line and Coach Mirabal and what he's been doing. It's been great.
And then, just what have you seen from NC State's defensive front? I know Coach Cristobal is kind of talking them up yesterday.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. They got good players. They got a good scheme. They're well coached. They run that, the 3-3-5, the 3-5 stack, and they'll drop down more into bear and bring one of the safeties in as another linebacker. So we got 7 guys in the box sometimes. But obviously base 3-3-5 and what they do with that. Not a lot of teams do run the 3-3-5, but the teams that run it well, like NC State, and when you do run it well, it's a hard defense to play against, especially when you have physical, big, athletic guys on defensive front end, linebackers that are smart, that are well coached, and know where they're going, and that's exactly NC State. But they got good players all across the board on the 3D linemen they use, and then the extra guys they sub in for their rush package on third down, and then all 3 linebackers. Obviously their will linebacker, really good, but they're a good football team, talented, well coached, and then they run a good defense, sound.
Next, we'll go to Marcus Benjamin. Marcus, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, just wanted to ask about you transferring to Miami. Obviously, we're mid-season now, so how do you feel about that decision to transfer to Miami, and what would you say to any player that's thinking about transferring to the University of Miami?
Well, I absolutely would do it again every single year if that was the case. You know what I mean? A million times over. It's been probably the best decision I've ever made, especially in a football regard, the best decision I've made in my life. But I got here, what is it? It's October. So however many months ago that is, 9, 10 months since I got here in the middle of January. And I wouldn't have changed a thing. The people, the coaches, the players, the culture, the city, the school, everything about it has been absolutely perfect. And anybody that is in high school or that's in the transfer portal that is looking for a program, whether that be as out of high school, out of prep, or in the transfer portal, University of Miami is a great place. We're led by a great guy in Coach Cristobal, and everyone he has underneath him are all great men, stand-up guys. And then we got a big family, all the players on the team. Everyone's a big family. The offensive friends, the defenses, friends with the D-line, friends with the O-line, friends with the receivers, defensive backs, But it's the best decision I've made, and I don't regret it at all. I would do it again. Absolutely.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Dignan. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Matt. Hey, now we're getting into November. I asked Javion this. What as a veteran, especially, in November? What are the different physical and mental challenges that you have to go through when you reach this part of the season? Your body, staying focused, all that stuff, and how do you overcome any challenges, or how do you deal with those?
Yeah, absolutely right. Throughout all the off season, and then obviously summer, you're going hard in the weight room and whatnot, which is already giving you a kind of mental and physical tax. But you kind of have breaks leading up to them, discretionary weeks, whatnot, things off. When you're off of school and whatnot. But once camp starts in August, you go, all of August straight, which is obviously a huge load on the body and mind, because when you're in camp, you're not in school, so you're up there for 12 hours a day and you're practicing every day, which is a different, more physically and mentally demanding task than in the season, other than obviously the games. But you go all of August, and you go all of September, and you go all of October. So now that's 3 months, 12 weeks straight now of straight football nonstop every single day. And everyone around the country is going through the same thing, right? So it's week 9, and everyone around the country, everybody that plays, every single school in college football, anybody that plays on that team is feeling it. They're feeling it physically. Everyone's got little things that are bothering them day to day, and mentally, as well. Obviously, as you get older, like me and Javion, as you say, have played a lot of football, so the mental side is less there because you're just used to it. But when you're a younger guy that's still getting used to the swing of things, or maybe it's your first year or second year and you're still getting acclimated to what college football is, that can have more of an impact. So the older guys like me, Javion, Jalen, like anybody else that's a veteran on the team, it's really our job to bring up the young guys with us all the time. And from the physical standpoint, that is what it is. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel sore. You're going to feel beat up. That comes with it. And that's for everybody across the country that, gets out on Saturdays and plays snaps. But just sticking together, remembering that, hey, week by week, day by day, taking things day by day and letting the leadership lead and just bringing the young guys along.
And also, did you see, I'm sure you did, the future schedules, they released the ACC?
I saw it briefly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how much you looked at it. They're going to Cal next year and all
I
that.
did see that,
yeah. What do you think of that? Going to Cal next year, or maybe Stanford? I don't know.
I've never been to California. I played Stanford once my freshman year, but it was at home. So I've never been that far west. I haven't been to a bunch of places other than places I've traveled for football. So that's pretty cool. It's a long flight, but that's pretty.
It's a long flight. Did you like that they added SMU and Cal and Stanford to the ACC for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about this. I don't read about this. So I don't get into the logistics of the conference realignment and whatnot. Don't really know what that all that comes from, but more power to them.
Is it fun for a player? I know I understand you're a veteran and I got you, but is it fun for a football player, or most that to travel away to far games and see new places and stuff?
I think maybe when you look back, it is, because now that I look back after starting 45 games or whatever thus far in my collegiate career, it's like, dang, I've been to this state and this state and this city, and I've got to see a little bit of a lot of different areas. But I think in the moment, like this weekend when we go to North Carolina, I'm not going to be thinking about, I'm in North Carolina, I'm traveling. I'm thinking about, I have a football game to play tomorrow, and that's what my mind's on. But that is true. You do get the opportunity to go to many different places. But in the moment, you're just, it's business trip. I'm here to play ball.
So it seems like you guys have just been kind of getting better and better on the O-line as the season goes on. You guys all graded out very well this week. Tyler didn't get touched once, I don't think. So just what's been working for you guys? How have you guys just been improving throughout the season?
Yeah, a lot of credit to our coaches, a lot of credit to our teammates. They push us to make sure that we're in the best position that we could be on Saturday. I think it starts with our process of preparation. We attacked every day with enthusiasm, with the will and the want to be 1-0 at the end of the week. And with that process and how we approach it, that's just, it shows that, taking that mindset will allow you to improve yourself. And we've all taken this challenge of being the, culture and the soul of this team and trying to move everything forward together.
Next, we'll go to Matt Shodell. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Javion. I wanted to ask you about that last play. Was it just instinct to push Mark into play, into the end zone? I know it's not something you practice, so just walk us through sort of what was going through your head when you said, hey, let me shove my teammate as hard as I possibly can.
Yeah, so we got the play call, and I think I know in the moment we all thought that, but after the game, everybody told me, yeah, we know the game is over after we called that play. And I pulled around the edge, got out there, got a good hit on the corner, tried to run him out of bounds. And I looked inside and I was wondering, why Mark isn't in the end zone yet. And in the middle of that thought, he was right next to me. So I'm like, okay, no, don't go out of bounds, stay in bounds. And I'm like, okay, go forward. And then somebody came, and I'm like, let's end the game. So just good reaction, style of play, what our coach Mirabal preaches to us every day, and that's just finishing each and every play with a lot of maximum effort, and that's all that happened. Credits to our OC for calling that play. Credits to Mark for running really hard. He broke a tackle right before that happened too, so he wasn't able to get there. The other 4-5 other people who were blocking, on the line and the receivers didn't do their job, we would have never made that play. So.
I one follow-up on that. So I watched the tape of that play 10 times, probably 100 times less than you have, but still watched it 10 times. And I wasn't sure after watching it. It looked like Mark, maybe he was supposed to cut in between McCormick and you. If there was a gap there, was it a pure sweep to the sideline, or was it called for it to actually to go inside, for him to cut it back?
We just wanted to get on the edge of the defense and, get big on big and see what we can do. Obviously, Mark Fletcher is a exceptional running back. He got out there, made a man miss, made another man miss, and plowed his way into the end zone. And I was just there to help clean it up.
Let's go back to Adam. Adam, go ahead.
Hey again. So like I was saying earlier, you guys are playing really well. The running backs are all very talented. But I think a couple of the last few games, the running yards haven't really been there. I think like this past week it was like 113 on 26 carries, and like if you take out Mark's touchdown run and AJ's touchdown run, it's like about 3 yards a carry. Is there something maybe that if you guys have have pinpointed a reason for that? Is it just like having to pass the ball more in some situations? I guess is there a reason why maybe the mix of good offensive line, good running backs hasn't equaled a lot of run production lately?
I mean, I have no reason to point to specifically. I just know that we're trying to approach each and every day and each and every play with the same mentality of trying to get as many yards as we can. It's some great defenses that we're playing in the ACC, and they all have good schemes and great players and great coaches as well. So I feel like we're just trying to, nothing specifically to, point at. We're just trying to, do the best that we can when it comes to running the ball or whatever play is called from Coach Dawson. We just run it to perfection, and that's all that we can do. That's all we can focus on.
Let's go next to Susan Miller-Degnan. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Javion. Hey, as far as like, I know you were talking about how enthusiastic you guys are and stuff, and everything's going really well. When you get to the month of November, like this time of year, what new challenges are there as the year progresses, especially in this month, physically, mentally wise? What are the things that you have to deal with as football players, and, how do you overcome that?
Well, really, I feel like around this time, what you did in January through July shows up the most. What you did in fall camp shows up the most, and I feel like we attacked that pretty well. It's just all about sharpening the tools and keeping a fine tune on whatever techniques or whatever you need to go out there and perform your best, and just being one sound and one team. Remembering that it's us, not they. You know what I'm saying, and all of us is one, and just trying to push each other and keep each other level-headed and moving towards the Miami culture, which is 1-0 and at the end of each and every week.
And the physical part, I mean, your bodies must get they get sore every week. But I mean, at this time of year, do you feel a little bit of a difference, even though you have to push through?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody in the country's feeling that around this time. We play this sport and we signed up for it. We know what comes with it. And it's just a matter of, who can push through and who can't. And I think that shows on every Saturday, and like I said, we signed up for the sport, so you don't like it, I don't recommend it for you.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll wrap up with Marcus Benjamin. Marcus, go ahead.
Hi, Javion.
How you doing, Marcus?
Good. I just wanted to ask about, you came from a championship winning program in Alabama, and, a lot of transfers are, thinking about transferring to Miami. Now that you've kind of been here mid-season, how do you feel about your decision, and what would you say to other players that are thinking about transferring to Miami?
Transferring to the University of Miami is one of the best decisions I could have made in my life. Getting to know Coach Cristobal, Coach Mirabal, really the whole staff, man, it changed my whole perspective on football, and made me fall back in love with the game. Just knowing that, people around here care about that common goal just as much as they care about you, and my advice or my words to anybody who's considering transferring to Miami, to do it. Come in here with the right mentality, come in here ready to work, trust your coaches, trust your teammates, be the perfect team player, and always remember that it's us, not they. We're all one. It's never a finger to point, and pull the trigger and come, man. I mean, I made the best decision I could possibly think of. I love these guys. I love these coaches. I love each and everybody on the staff. I have long conversations with anybody in the building. When you ask my teammates that, like, it's the perfect place to be, and I don't regret one thing.
I'm good. So I was just asking Branson, going up against this offensive line in practice, I mean, they've been playing very well this year. How much does that help you guys on the defensive line? And on the other hand, how kind of frustrating can it be when, you have really tough challenges like that in practice, and obviously you want to get wins too?
Well, it helped us a lot. I feel like the hard work that we put in practice, it shows up in the game. Good on good, iron sharpens iron, as Coach Ball says. And it just sharpens our technique, really. We're not lacking on anything. And I feel like once it comes to the game, our O-line is better than any other O-line. So we actually, there's nothing that we never seen, really. It's very frustrating when you just trying to get past somebody, but you can't, because they good as us, and they good as anybody, really.
Also, on kind of the fun side of things, I really like that post you had after the game going to Sonic. Made me laugh pretty hard. Any word on any NIL deals from them?
Not yet, but hopefully, yes.
Next, we go to Matt Shodell. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Ruben. So, you're getting all these accolades, and I know, Mario's big thing is keep the outside noise outside, but sometimes it's easier said than done, especially for a young person like yourself. How do you deal with it personally? Do you stay away from social media? Do you tell your friends not to talk about your play or anything they see? Like, how do you sort of make sure you don't get big-headed and just keep your head to the grindstone, so to speak?
I just always want more for myself. Getting accolades is nice, but I always see the bigger picture. I'm always just trying to strive for more, really. That's just simple as that, really. People always ask that, but I just feel like if you always want more for yourself, one little accolade won't hurt, or it won't boost your head up or anything like that.
Any other questions for Ruben? Adam, back to you.
I'll keep it rolling. Just what have you seen from NC State's offense on film?
Aggressive O-line, older group. They know what they're doing, they're experienced, and you just got to come with it that game. We're down a couple guys, so we know we have to play lights out that game. Other than that, it's a good group that we're looking forward to play. We just want to see. Really, I guess that's pretty it.
Hey,
And let's wrap up with Marcus. Marcus, go ahead.
Hey, Ruben, just wanted to ask about being a leader. Dean said that you're one of the leaders in the locker room. So how tough is it to be a freshman and to step up and be a leader among veterans?
I wouldn't say it's that tough, because once you get the respect of your peers, it becomes pretty easy. And I feel like that just comes with leading by example, always doing the right thing, and letting your success from the hard work you put in show off. And that, I feel like that shows the people that if you put in the right work, good things will come to light. And I feel like that's half the battle, really. And just being vocal is the other half. And once you get that respect and the love and trust from your peers, then you'll be all right.
Any other questions for Ruben?
yes, I do, Carter, but the hand raise thing's not coming on. Hey, Ruben.
How you doing?
Good. So yesterday the ACC came out with the new schedule model, and you're one of the young guys. The other ones are a little older that I asked. What do you think of the new, of SMU and Cal and Stanford coming to you? And next year you guys go to Berkeley. Is that exciting for you? What do you think of the new format?
Well, I didn't know that was happening, but definitely excited. It's just, I guess my point is I come to the conference, new opportunities, and that's really it. I honestly didn't know that happened.
Oh yeah, next year you go to California. So, and also I've also been asking the guys about this month, the month of November. And again, you're a freshman, and in college it gets really intense, especially in November. For you, I mean, you're just starting the month, but what's it been like? And how does the season change as you go along? What challenges are there later in the season, and how do you deal with them?
Well, I feel like it's the same challenge it's been all season, which is us. We just focus on ourselves every week, no matter who we playing, and we'll be all right. Because no matter the month, no matter the opponent, if we just focus on ourselves, we'll be all right.
Okay. And anything about North Carolina State you can say, about their offense and offensive line or whatever?
Talented group, experienced group. They definitely come with it every play. I say they're real physical, real aggressive. So we just have to do the same: be physical, be aggressive, and
showcase lots of
Good. So speaking about how good you are, I know Coach Cristobal, Coach Guidry have talked about how important it is to have you back, in the rotation and starting and everything. I know you've played the last few weeks, so I guess we're up until recently. Were you kind of still limited by I think it was a foot injury that you had or whatever you were dealing with before that?
Yeah, I was kind of limited in practice. Last week my first full week back to practice, and I think it kind of showed in my play. I think it's really important to get out here and practice and get prepared. But yeah, my limitations are gone now, man. So I'm fully back.
And then also, I mean, you guys have been doing very well in the pass rush the last few weeks. I think I could be wrong. I'd have to look it up for sure, but I think you guys have 5 sacks or more in the last 3 games. Just what's been working so well for you guys in the pass rush the last few weeks?
I think our preparation, man. During the week, we're really getting after it. We're really studying different. We're working moves. Coach Taylor has us on crayons every day, and we're really just getting after it in our preparation. And I think it's really showing up. We're hustling around in practice, and now we got a quarterback in our pass rush that we got to wrap up after every rep. So I mean, that's giving us as real a look as we can get prior to game time. So it's just in our preparation.
Next, let's go to Matt Shodell. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Branson. So it's crazy. But, your defense has been missing so many linemen on and off all year between you and now Nigelique and Akeem. What does it say just sort of about Lance Guidry's style of defense and how Lance Guidry coaches that the defense, you guys are number 24 in the nation in total defense, even missing all these guys, A, how good would this defense line have been if everyone stayed healthy? And B, how good a job has Coach Guidry done just getting you guys ready every single week?
Yeah, like you said, man, we're missing 2 great guys, 2 huge pieces to our defense. But I think it kind of explains like our leadership. Man, we got guys all over the place that have to be prepared, young and old. We got a bunch of old guys, but we got some young guys too stepping up. You guys seen Jaden Wayne out there. So he's a guy that's going to have to help us. And Coach G is doing a great job, man. He's keeping it simple. But we also got to be prepared to play and be ready before game time.
Next, we'll go to Marcus Benjamin. Marcus, go ahead.
Hey, Branson, how's it going?
What up, Marcus, man? I'm good. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Wanted to ask you about transferring to Miami. Obviously, you're a transfer from Purdue. So we're mid-season now. How do you feel about your decision to transfer to Miami? And what would you say to players that are thinking about transferring to the U?
So first of all, transferring to Miami was probably the best decision I've ever made. In terms of being on a platform that's around a bunch of guys that are really talented, really pushing myself to up my level of play. We have a freshman that's all worldly, and you kind of gotta match his style of play every time you go out there. So best decision I've ever made. If you're thinking about coming here, just do it, man. I was kind of afraid too, but it's a leap of faith. And I struck gold, man. So best decision I ever made. Come check out the U.
Next, we'll go to Susan Miller-Degnan. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, Branson.
Hey, Susan, how you doing?
Good. So I've been asking everybody, and there are some veterans on this call today on the Zoom. When you get to this time of the year, when you're hitting November, what are the physical and the mental challenges that change for football players or that happen when you get this late? How do you push through them, or how do you deal with them? And like you were just talking about Rueben, what do you give any advice to younger guys? Just the whole bit.
I think Coach started off the week. So yesterday, Coach Cristobal started off the week with, man, everybody's in week 9. It's week 9 for everybody. So we have to enhance toughness. We got to enhance mental toughness, and we just got to keep pushing. All of our goals are right in front of us, and if we let off the gas now, man, November eats you up, man, because November, one of the most important months in our season, and we have to capitalize on the rest of our game. Ruben's doing a great job with not only adapting to
being this late in the season. I know his body hurting, everybody's body hurting, but he's actually the guy that's preaching to everybody, man. We got to keep going. He's leading the group. He's just doing a great job. So it's not much for us to say to him as leader.
How does it, I think you kind of said this, but how does it eat you up, November?
Man, November's tough because, like you said, it's late in the season. Everybody's hurting. Everybody is might take days off of practice, or it might not go as hard as practice. Man, we have a great leader that's going to keep us sharp, going to keep us going. And like you said, man, everybody's in week 9, so we can't feel sorry for yourself because everybody's going through the same thing. We're just going to keep it. We're going to keep it tough.
And also, again, you might not really be paying as much attention, but the ACC released the future model, and I guess SMU, Stanford, and Cal, right, or next year get added to the conference. And for example, you guys go to Cal, will travel to Cal next year. What do you think of that, them getting added? And is that kind of fun, going cross-country trips and stuff?
Yeah, I like it. I really do like it. I think it'll be a new experience for these guys to go out in Cal and play. It's definitely a different atmosphere on your breathing and everything. I played out west, I think one time, and it's definitely a different atmosphere. I think it'll be fun for these guys to go out there and compete with those guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And let's wrap up with a hey again from Adam. Adam, go ahead.
Hey again. I was just looking, and the O-line is, I think, tied for 10th in the nation in fewest sacks allowed. You've been going up against them, since the spring. How have you seen them progress, and what do they do so well that can frustrate opposing defensive linemen?
I think for them, they're one of the best groups, and you can see it on film of working together and working on the string, man. It's really frustrating when you got a 3 technique that's trying to work through the B gap and the tackle has his hand sitting there for the guard blocking off your gap while also kicking out to the edge player and being able to cut off his path. It's really frustrating, but they work on a string, man, and they're really good. They're experienced older guys, so any tricks, Matt Lee is up there calling out disguises and where people are coming from. He has those guys set and ready every play. So I think it's just experience. Those guys are tough as nails, man, and their leader is also one of the best coaches in the country. So it's going to be tough to get around those guys, man, and get to the quarterback. I think people is realizing it now.
And what's it just like? I mean, for you guys on the D lines, obviously, you guys want to do well in practice and show show off for yourselves, but
right.
It's also good that you guys have a good offensive line. Like, what's that like? Just on a personal level, I guess.
So it's better for us because you kind of get to see where you're at. When you do get a win, you appreciate it a whole lot more. I can tell you that. But you kind of get to line up and see where you're at yourself and pick things to work on because every week the guys that we play aren't going to set like those guys. They give you a hard, tough set, and by the time game day comes, it's really easy to know what you're going to get and know what moves you're going to work because you've been struggling all week to beat these guys.